touches. So we're out here today working on that. What I'd like to use it for is a sort of a brush or knapweed mower. I want to hog out a big old death hole in the snout here so that we can suck up brush and small animals and children and whatnot. The trouble is, mower won't start. Okay, so this was given to me a few years ago by a family member who let it sit in their shed for a few more years. I then proceeded to store it outside, and for whatever reason, it didn't want to start. I then used it as spare parts for that motor over there because I didn't need it. But now I need it, and I need it to start. So I went and I looked at it, and of course, there were a few problems. There is a gray recycled plastic sort of sucker snout thing that goes from the dinosaur juice squirt box into the up, down, bang, bang spot. Well, that was broken, so I replaced that, and I put it all back together. I mean, these are pretty dumb, stupid little motors. It should run, but it doesn't. My thought right now is to take the top back off. I think that maybe I didn't get the coil set quite right, the pickup set close enough for the flywheel, because I got no spark. Give one shot at it. If it works, we'll cut it up and make a death machine. If it doesn't work, I'll leave it outside and see if it fixes itself over the winter. 50-50. So here's the coil, the pickup. Yeah, I'd say I left some pretty big gaps. Not so much on that side, but on that side, I think I did this in the dark. This side out. Well, how else would you put it in? Anyways, gonna go ahead and see if we can shim that down as close as we can without actually touching the flywheel. I'm sure there's a proper gap, but yeah, you go ahead and look that up on your own. Look at that. There's just an angel's whisker between the two of them. I shimmed it down to 4 thou. I'm sure, again, there's an actual number, and I have no idea what it is, but I shimmed it down to 4,000. But it doesn't touch. That's good enough for me. Of course, it might touch if those bearings are bad. Because if the bearings are bad and this thing wobbles around a bit, which it probably does, then 4,000s is probably too close. It now runs, if you give it a little squeezy squeeze of gas directly down the dinosaur juice box hole, but it only runs until that squeeze is gone. So I gotta take the carburetor apart. You'd think with the kind of care I've taken of this thing, it wouldn't be such a pain. Fortunately, I didn't see much of anything wrong with the dinosaur juice tubes inside the carburetor. In fact, I didn't see anything wrong at all. It's a little scummy. Float's not full of fuel. Just really hoping I would find something wrong with it. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe the needle was stuck up in there. Put it back together. I mean, there's just nothing to them, so they can't really go wrong. I'll clean this thing out. You want to make sure that those two holes are connected. Hey, now would you look at that? Perfect. Absolutely flawless. That's the on-off switch. What's the oil look like? Ooh. I hope those are bubbles. If it's not bubbles, we're in trouble. Anyway, the oil looks a little dark, which is good, because it means it's quite old, and I don't want to lose that experience. You know, these things have been working together for a long time, and let's not Yoko Ono this bad boy. That's enough of a test for me. First time it's run in 5 years. Clearly, it's going to be a reliable machine. So let's hog the front of the thing out. I'm sure you can tell by now that You know, my number one concern is, of course, the structural integrity of this lawnmower. Well, we might have to compromise that a little. I'm gonna have to give her a snipperoo. I'm thinking at an angle right there. That'll still give me some meat to keep the wheels from flopping around. Going across, right, and then back down again. I'm then gonna have to nip this little round shroud off, and I want to build a scoopy platform that comes out to prevent quite so much amputation in this general area. Cool. And I did find that this blade right here, pretty sure that's not factory. Pretty sure I might have to pop that off and weld it up or something, which is I'm sure how they do it, warranty. Well, this is what I found. Recognize that from your youth? That is the kick plate off of a broken school desk. I'm thinking something kind of like that. That looks slick. That would defeat the purpose. I wish this wasn't rolled quite as steeply. I don't think I can straighten it without breaking it. But considering I don't care all that much, I think we still have a winner right here. Let's get that welded on. To add a little structural rigidity, not that this elegantly designed machine needs it, I'm going to take these corners I cut off the desks, I'm going to slip them right in there, and then weld them to the case. That'll work perfect. By the time I'm done, you're not going to be able to tell this thing from a DR. You can't have an off-road lawnmower without a lift kit. So, I want to put these, look how precision that wheel is. Dang, this thing's nice. I want to put this way down here, right? Basically, at its lowest possible point, which would be more or less straight up and down. But, when we do that, we're into the bodywork. So, we need a little precision adjusting. Oh, that is perfection. Perfection. All right. So we're going to weld that so it can't move, because that's the easiest thing to do. And then I guess there's a little bit of problem right there. Ah, would you look at that? Grinder and rust, I weld when I must. It ended up being some sort of 3D sculpture patch as I desperately searched for something thick enough to weld to. But I got it attached over there, I got it attached to the frame. Nice patch over here. Should keep anything from exploding out through there. And when we get down to it, minimizing and controlling explosions, that's all we really strive for. Well, I haven't broken it yet. Kind of a little bit of test ground here. I think they used to run cattle, sheep, goats, something down here. But I'm losing all of it, you know, to these little gooseberry looking things from cottonwood.
So this is what I built the machine to do. Let's find out if it'll do it.
It worked amazing. It just powered through this mix of dry grass and twigs and stuff. You know, I know it isn't that tough, but look at that. It took that tree right down. I just Paul Bunyan that mofo. Honestly, it really did work very, very well. And you never would have gotten through this, even with the side discharge, let alone a mulcher or something. I was very pleased. It went so fast. I occasionally would stall it if I tried to, you know, get eager beaver with some big tall brush. Ooh, fisherman. He thought I was insane. But for the most part, it just chewed right through it. It's not a full off-road brush mower. I mean, come on, it's a 6-horse lawnmower you cut a death hole in the front of. It worked pretty good, though. And I could go up to, you know, 3/8. Occasionally, if you did 1/2 inch, if you were really slow and careful about it. I occasionally hit big things and stalled the mower. Didn't seem to rip the blades off, so I call that a success. I didn't spend anything on it. Thanks for watching. These things are kind of cool. If you're still here and listening, watch these videos. Or not, whatever. I'm not your boss.